Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another Monday night fire, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach, Malak Bashai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting and laboring for the second coming of our Lord, Hamashiach, Malak Bashai. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there in the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom to those men. Shalom to the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying. They're fasting. They're studying. They're being diligent. And they're abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to the ancient men. Shalom to the children. Shalom to the elect of Israel scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to everybody tuning in live. Renee A, Don Israel Tamid, Yolanda Caesar, William Thomas, Jermaine Duckins, Benjamin Youngwolf, Shalom King, Ephraimite Ak, Shamar Yahawada, Praise Yahweh, Carmel, Brother Azariah, Shalom King, Quadan, and everybody else tuning in and that will tune in, Lord willing. You know, most High willing brothers are have endured the fast. I know on the East Coast, your fast is done through the spirit and power. Most High willing of Yahweh Shmi Abishai. For brothers that did and sisters that did the fast from sundown to sundown, right? If you're on the West Coast, you may still have some time, right? Give or take, but all praise to the Most High that this fast that brothers have, willingly offered themselves to do is pleasing and accepted in the eyes of Yahweh Shmi Abishai. Right, I want to go to Nehemiah, the 11th chapter. Right, I want to get a quick precept. Most High willing brothers prayed for mercy. Right, you prayed for repentance. You asked Yahweh by Shema Shah to forgive us our sin of our sins, the sins of our forefathers, the iniquities of us as a nation. You understand concerning the elect, the 1/3, the 144,000. Right, and Most High willing, we're purging out this leaven prior to Passover. Right? Passover is right around the corner through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Abashah. Right? I know some brothers are keeping it earlier, and they got us. We're keeping it April 11th. And Most High willing, it's a refreshing fast. It's a reset. Right? This is I want to get this quick precept though. This Nehemiah 11:1. And the rulers of the people dwelt at Jerusalem. The rest of the people cast lots to bring one of 10 to dwell in Jerusalem, the holy city, and 9 parts to dwell in other cities. Now, remember, during the time of Nehemiah, this was after around 444 BC, right after the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem and the exile that was kicked off around 539 BC. So you had many Jews that went back to Jerusalem, and Jerusalem was in shambles, right? The wall was burnt down, the gate was burnt, the city was rubble. You didn't have what you have or had during the days of Solomon. So a lot of people were apprehensive. A lot of the Jews were apprehensive or reluctant to dwell in Jerusalem. So they rather dwell in the suburbs, right? Where you had land and you had opportunity to feed your cattle, right? And to be able to plant, reap, and sow. So not too many people wanted to dwell in Jerusalem at that time. But here's verse 2. And all the people, it's like, and the people blessed all the men that willingly offered themselves to dwell at Jerusalem. And that's a beautiful thing when the men of the Lord willingly offer themselves to be in a spirit of suffering, affliction, to be without, man. Because when they had to go in Jerusalem, they wasn't living good, man. They didn't have palaces during this time, right? They didn't have, slaves and dominion like they had during the days of Solomon. Like I said, the wall was burnt down, man, or the scriptures say. The gates were burnt, the dragon well, the dung gate, it was in shambles. So it's a beautiful thing tying it back into the nationwide fast when the men of the Lord willingly, nobody has to force you to fast. Nobody put a weapon to your head, man. Right? Nobody threatened your life, man. Nobody threatened your bank account, right? But you willingly, out of your own goodwill, through the mercy and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, you offered yourself, right, to dwell at Jerusalem. And we are Jerusalem, and we are a people, right? You offered yourself to unify, right? You offered yourself to gather together collectively with a repentant mind and come back to Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? Let me get this in Jonah 3:10. Right? It's a beautiful thing when nobody has to force you to be righteous, right? But you do it out of sincerity and out of the goodwill of your heart, right? This is Jonah chapter 3 and verse number 10. And the Most High saw their works, that they turned from their evil way. And the Most High repented of the evil that he had said that he would do unto them, and he did it not. And Lord knows, man, what wrath the Most High may have in store for us, man, or had in store for us, right? Remember, we're unclean, man, right? The Lord said all of our righteousness are likened unto filthy rags. In Psalms 39:5 on down, the Lord said, man at his best estate is altogether vanity, right? So, I mean, we're an off people, man, and we need Yahweh Shah. And we do things that are worthy of judgment, man. We do things that are worthy of death every day. But the Most High, Lord willing, he sees the sincere spirit and every single one of us, and that we turn from our evil way. And Most High willing, the Lord repents of the evil that he said he would do unto us. And he does it not, man. Right? Because the Lord knows what judgment we may have had lingering on us. And Most High willing, Yahweh, Bashmi Yahweh had mercy on us, or has mercy on us, and turns away that wrath from us, man. Right? So, Lord willing, it's a beautiful thing that brothers went into that fast. The Akwath went into the fast. If you had your children that went into that fast, that's extremely mighty, man. You know, all praises to the Most High. And Lord willing, man, right? We see judgment. We also pray for judgment on our adversaries, right? And judgment on our enemies. Let me get this quick precept. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, right? This 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse number 5, which is a actually, this whole thing is good. Let's start at 4, right? 2 Thessalonians 1 and 4. So that we ourselves glory in you. It's like a glory in you in the churches of the Most High, for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure. And everybody's enduring tribulation, no matter who you are, especially if you're in this truth. If you're in the world, you're not enduring tribulation, right? Because you have the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, man, right? You live good. You're blessed by the spiritual demon Satan. If you're in the world, of course, man, right? And you prosper in your goings. But when you're in this knowledge of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, you're going to go through persecutions, right? And you're going to go through tribulations. Your health might be jammed up, and your finances might be jammed up. You might be catching hell at your job, catching hell from your worldly family, catching hell from your family in the truth, catching hell in your marriage, and your car break down all of a sudden, man, right? Your house get all jammed up. All hell could break loose, man. But brothers are enduring tribulation. All praises to the Most High, right? And to offer yourself willingly in a fast while you're going through tribulation is a mighty thing. Because a brother could have easily said, you know what, man, I can't deal with that right now. I got my own problems going on, right? I got to worry about me. I got to get mine. I got enough I got to deal with. Y'all could do that. Or you could have thought that you was too high and mighty to do a fast, man, with all of us, man, right? Which would be a horrible, horrible spirit to have, right? To scoff at a fast, to galvanize us under the ban of Yahweh Shemiah Shah. What a horrible thing that would be, man, right? God forbid that any man would do such a thing. But the Lord said that we're going through tribulations and we're enduring it, right? Which is a manifest token of the righteous judgment of God, that ye may be counted worthy of the kingdom of the Most High, for which ye also suffer. So suffering is part of this truth, man. Fasting is part of this truth, right? Afflicting your soul is part of this truth. And the Lord said, it is good that I might be afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes, paraphrasing, right? So if you want to make it to the kingdom, you're going to have to suffer. That's what makes you worthy. The Lord has to see, like he tell you in 2 Ezra chapter 16, he said, then shall it be known who are my chosen, for they shall be tried as gold in the fire, right? So if you're going to be counted worthy to make it to the kingdom, you have to suffer, but not just suffer, you have to endure the suffering. And you have to acquaint yourself with suffering. You have to expect suffering like you expect to see the sun every day. You have to have faith in suffering, man. Right? As much as you know that the wind is going to blow, right? And the grass is green and the moon is going to come in its course, you have to expect suffering to acquaint itself with you, man. And suffering, he doesn't ask for an invitation. He just pops up, man. Like they had that then was that Allstate or one of those car commercials, man. You had Mayhem, right? And Mayhem, these people be going about their day-to-day life. And Mayhem, which is like this damn Edomite, and he would cause all hell to break loose, man. Hey, these people get into car accidents, a tree will fall on their car, you know, the windshield break. That's how the Most High invites suffering to you. He just comes at his own leisure, man. And he does what he wants to do in your life. And you have to expect it, man. And not get shaken. Well, why am I going through this? And why is this happening to me? And hey, this is part of this thing, right? You have to be counted worthy to endure that, man. Right? Let me read on verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. So it's a beautiful, righteous thing for the Most High to judge those who give us tribulation, right? To judge those who do afflict the saints, to judge the nations who put us in a state of suffering, man, right? And sadness and sorrow. Yahweh Bashmi Abashai said, it's a beautiful thing for me to get them back, man, for what they've done unto you, right? And the Lord said, he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye, right? So we're very precious in the eyes of the Most High. So all of the fasting that we do, right? All of the praying that we do, all of the chastening of our spirit that we do, man, it's going to pay off. There's a reward for this. You didn't just not eat and drink for 24 hours for no reason, man. There's a reward for this. And the Most High is going to recompense tribulation to them that trouble us, right? And to you, and actually, let me get one more quick precept dealing with that. I'm going to go back to this in 2 Thessalonians, right? But this Hebrews chapter 6 and verse number 10. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. So when you fast, you pray, you give alms, you exhort one another, right? You beg for mercy, you show mercy. Your brother asks to go a mile, you go with him twain, right? You go out on the highways and byways in sincerity to wake up the elect, right? To seal the 144,000. You prophesy the downfall of the society, right? All of the days that you denied worldly holidays, all of the days you denied smoking weed, right? Denied committing adultery, right? You put to shame wickedness, all of the things that you've done that were righteous, the Most High has it laid up. When you read the book of Malachi, the 3rd chapter, he says that a book of remembrance was written before them that thought upon his name, paraphrasing, right? So don't ever think that the works that you have done in this knowledge and the works that you are currently doing, and Most High willing, the works that you will do, go for naught. All of your works are recorded, man. The time you spent studying, the time you spent praying, right? Taking notes, denying the flesh, suffering. The Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work. He's not like your so-called supervisor at your job, man, who doesn't pay attention to all of the work you put in. All right, you got these guys, man, they've been in these jobs for 35, 40 years, man. One guy was at Burger King. I think he walked to work, man, for like 40 years. You know what they gave this guy, man? They gave him like a pack of annihilators, a pen. I think they gave him a gift card to Burger King. He works at Burger King. They gave him a gift card to Burger King and like a damn a keychain. Right? So these powers that be in the world that we live in, they're unrighteous, man. And they don't take into account the labors that we do. Hey, but the Most High is not so. All of the labor we do, he's not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name. And his name is Yahweh. His son name is Yahweh Shah. And they ye have ministered to the saints and do minister, right? You serve your people, right? Verse 11. And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope to the end. So there's what they call a caveat that goes with it, man. It's not you just doing the work. And the Most High remembers that. It's that you have to show the same diligence and full assurance of hope until the end, which means you got to keep going. So this shouldn't be the last time that you ever fasted. God forbid. It's the last time you've ever fasted. No, man. You don't have to wait on the Spirit to work in the last days for Israel to do a nationwide fast. You got to do this thing willingly, like we read in Nehemiah 11th chapter. It should be in you to purge out leaven. It should be in you to beg for mercy. It should be in you to repent. This thing got to be in you, man. And you got to be diligent in it. Don't let this be the only time that you fasted, man. Don't let this be the last time that you fasted. There's more fast to do, man. Really, in all honesty, me speaking as a man, especially you men, brothers should be fast. Now, there's no law on this. There's no commandment on this, right? But this is, what we do in the body. Brothers should fast at least once a week, man. Right? Now, I can't pull the scripture. There's no law on that, right? The children of Israel have to fast. No, Yahweh Shah said, then shall they fast in those days, man. Right? So you should at least, even if you can't do it once a week and you start off, once a month, right? Then you may do it, once every 2 weeks, and you build yourself up, man. Right? Luke chapter 5 and verse number 33. And they said unto him, why do the disciples of John fast often and make prayers? And likewise, the disciples of the Pharisees, but thine eat and drink. This is what they're asking Yahweh Shah. John the Baptist's apostles lived a more ascetic, rigorous lifestyle. They fasted often, and he was in the wilderness with John, right? They made prayers often. And when you looked at Yahweh Shah's and the apostles, you would have thought that they weren't spiritual at all. That was from the outside looking in, right? So they said, how come y'all are just eating and drinking? And that's not what they was doing, right? But that was their perception, right? Let's read on. And he said unto them, can ye make the children of the bride chamber fast while the bridegroom is with them? So you don't have people fast on weddings, right? That's out of order. Those are days of joy and days of gathering and days of enjoying one another's company, right? So Yahweh Shah said, hey, my apostles still with me for the time that I have them from the beginning. They're going to enjoy my presence and I'm going to enjoy their presence, right? But here's what he said, Luke 5:35. But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them, and then shall they fast in those days. You see that? So if you're one of the disciples of Yahweh Shai, then you should be fasting in these days, not just the Day of Atonement, not just waiting for a brother to push you, huh? Right? And some brothers, you got to light a fire under them to make them do the work of the Most High, which everybody needs exhortation. I need exhortation. But a lot of this, it got to be in you, right? Willingly, right? Let me get this in, like the Lord said real quick in 1 Peter 5, right? One quick precept, then I want to kind of get into these current events, right? 1 Peter chapter 5 and 2. Feed the flock of the Most High, which is among you, taking an oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. So, and that goes with anything, not just feeding the flock and doing the work on the highways and byways and doing lessons and videos and sit downs, right? This is manifold. This is manifold. Everything in this truth, right? Take the oversight, man. Have a mind to put your brick in where nobody really has to tell you, and you do it, man. Right? You use the talents and gifts that Yahweh Basham Shai gave you. And you willingly use those gifts and exercise them, huh? Not by constraint, meaning nobody should have to tie you up and drag you to do the work. Only time you do the work is when the brother, you about to get kicked out or suspended. Then you show up to camp. Then when you show up to camp, you got your head down, your hands in your pockets, you got your thumb in your back pocket, you're looking at the clouds. Okay, that looks like a rabbit. Okay, that cloud kind of looks like a horse. And somebody asks you to read a chapter and get the book of John, chapter 3 and 5, and you pick up the Apocrypha and you don't know, you're all out of order, man. Your mind not in this thing. We're looking to get out of here, man. We're looking to get out of here. We're not looking for vanity to be seen of men. This isn't a popularity contest. We're not out here for folly. We're looking to get the hell out of here, man. So this thing has to be willingly in you. I hate it here, man. And if you fear the Most High, you hate it here, and you love it not. We ain't in this thing for money, like I said, for filthy lucre, right? Who could be the richest servant of the Lord? That's madness, man. But of a ready mind, neither as being lords over the Most High's heritage, but being examples to the flock. So brothers have to be an example, right? Be an example. Be the one, right? Be that brother, man, where your behavior is something that a brother could look at and say, you know what, man, I need to examine myself. That brother, man, his house is in order, right? That brother's on fire. He's diligent. I see the fruits of the spirit manifest in him. He's been an example. He's showing me what a man is supposed to be. You be that example, man. Don't wait for another brother to be example. You be the example. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. And that's what we want, man. We want the chief shepherd. Who's the chief shepherd? Yahweh Shah. It didn't say if he appears. Well, if it says when he appears. And as you see all hell breaking loose on the earth, man, the coming of the Lord draws nigher and nigher, man. And we want this crown of glory that fadeth not away, the immortal crown, man. So again, all praise to the Most High for brothers that went into this fast. You endured it, man. You didn't sneak a damn a box of damn Cheez-Its or a stuffed crust pizza, right? You didn't sneak a bottle of water, right? You was chewing gum the whole fast. You didn't sleep it off. You endured this thing, and you'll receive Most High willing a crown of glory that fadeth not away if we show our endurance. It's like our diligence and full assurance of hope until the end. This isn't the last fast, right? You can do your own fast. You can do your own prayers, man, in Hebrew, man. You can write your own prayers out, man. You can call upon Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, and you should at your own leisure through the zeal that's manifest in your spirit. These things have to be in you. That's how you receive the crown of glory that fadeth not away, right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, right? Now, also, we want to get into, first, you got two major holy days coming up, right? You got two major holy days coming up. You have the destruction of Nicanor coming up, and you have Purim coming up, right? I just want to make that announcement. Destruction of Nicanor is Tuesday night at sundown until Wednesday night at sundown. The destruction of Nicanor. You can read about Nicanor primarily in First Maccabees, the 7th chapter. Now, there's other chapters where you kind of read about his wickedness, but the main chapter is First Maccabees 7 and Second Maccabees 15. Right? Who is Nicanor? A so-called white man. Yes, the Most High God gave us a day dedicated to the deliverance that he gave us through the hand of Judas, Jonathan, Simon, and the rest of the men of the Lord at that time. And that day is coupled with the destruction and death and demise, decapitation and mutilation of a so-called white man. Right? So yes, the Most High, he gave us a day about the death of the so-called white man. This is the God that we serve, man. Right? This is the God that we serve through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua. And they don't teach you that in Christianity, man. Right? It's like they don't teach you that in Christianity. Ask your pastor about the destruction of Nicanor. Right? Ask him about that, man. See what they say. Ask him, does God and Jesus, you might have to say it like that, have a day dedicated to the death of the so-called white man? And if you're mad about that day, you're not in the spirit, man. Right? You're not in the spirit. I don't want to keep that day. The Lord love everybody. Right? Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you one of these people, one of these Israelites where the Lord love everybody and he come to save everybody, you're not going to keep the destruction of Nicanor. You're going to say that was added to the Bible, right? You're going to say, well, we it's not in the Torah. We really don't have to keep that, right? It doesn't say, thus saith the Lord. You got to keep destruction of Nicanor. Nicanor really wasn't that bad. That's his lot. He was supposed to be the wicked. Hey, we don't want to hear that, man. We don't want to hear, well, that was his lot. You know, the Most High set him up to be the demon and be the wicked man. And you know, what you celebrating for, huh? Right? Man's going to the Lord. Hey, we won't celebrate at the destruction of the so-called white man, right? And we're not going to celebrate for a little while, right? This is Baruch chapter 3 and 35. This is our God, and there shall none other be accounted of in comparison of him. Right, so call Lord Yahweh Shai, man. You can't compare the Most High to anybody, man, or anything. What can you compare the highest to, man? The Heavenly Father, the high and lofty one that inhabited eternity, man. Who can you compare the Most High to, man? The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, man. The Lord mighty in battle, Yahweh is his name, a man of war. Who can you compare the Most High to, man? Here it is, the Most High gave us a day. Even think about it, you might be catching hell, man. Hey, look, man, you might be catching hell at your so-called job that day. Hey, but you might be smiling. Why is he smiling? I'm yelling at you. That's what your supervisor, your boss is going to say. Get back to work. And you kind of smiling. What is he smiling for? Well, you smiling because you know when that sun go down, man, when that sun go down, you might drink to his death, man. To the death of the so-called. Yeah, you might drink to the death of the so-called white man. You know, you might pour a glass of wine up, man. You know, you might talk about what he felt like when he had his tongue cut off, when he had his head chopped off, man. When they fed it to the fowls of the air. Hey, so look, man, I might catch hell tomorrow at the plantation, but I ain't gonna be mad. Because I know when that sun go down, I'll be looking at that sun, man, looking at that clock on the plantation, chasing that sun, man, on his heels. When that sun go down, it's no holds barred, man. Right? That's no holds barred. Right? With no restrictions, right? On the kinds of holds that are used, right? Used to convey that no rules. Now, there are rules, right? There are the laws and the commandments, right? But I'm just putting this out there, right? That no rules or restrictions apply and a conflict or dispute, man. No holds barred, man. Meaning what, man? When that sun go down, we turn it up in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And you can't restrict us, man. Let my so-called boss show up, man, at my door. What are you doing celebrating? Right? What are you doing keeping the destruction of Nicanor? Right? Hey, cut that out, man. Hey, let your so-called neighbors say something, man. Turn that music down. My kid is asleep. You know? Hey, things might happen, man. Hey, if you live in an apartment, you might hear that broomstick, man. You know? If you come in the middle level, somebody kicking the floor, man, because you're making a lot of noise. You turning up, man. This is, and the Most High gave you this day. How do you turn up all of that wickedness that Jake turned up on Thanksgiving, man? Your birthday, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. You freaked off on the New Year, man. You lost your mind on the New Year. And as you watch that big silver idol drop to celebrate Janus. If you can't be righteous and have a zeal for the Lord's holy days, your mind is bad. This is our God, and there is none other to be accounted of in comparison of him. He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and hath given it unto Jacob his servant, and to Israel his beloved. Afterward did he show himself upon earth and converse with men. And how did the Lord converse with men? Through the prophets, man. Through the ministers, right? Through the kings and the apostles that Yahweh Shai has set up, man. Through his works. That's how the Most High converses with men. And the Lord hath given us the way of knowledge. And the way of knowledge teaches us that we have particular days that we have to keep. That's what the way of knowledge teaches us, right? It teaches us that the Most High delivered us. He has delivered us, and he will continually deliver us. And no matter who your enemy is, the Most High is steamrolling before you, man. Right? And let's actually read this quick account. I'm not going to read the whole chapter, right? But we encourage brothers to go back and read First Maccabees and or Second Maccabees. Chiefly, I'm gonna jump here a little and there a little in the 7th chapter, right? In First Maccabees 7. Now, this first Maccabees, chapter 7, and I'm going to start at verse number, this whole thing is good. Let's start at 26, right? This is first Maccabees, chapter 7 and 26. Now, remember, during the time of the Maccabees, you had the Greeks that ruled over the children of Israel, right? You had men that came out of Seleucus the first Nicanor, right? And he had his sons and Antiochus the third Magnus and all these different men, right? Antiochus Theos who came before him, and then you had this demon, Antiochus Epiphanes the fourth, right? And you had this man named Nicanor, which was an Edomite general. An Edomite general. Now, he's one of the worst Edomites, if that's even a thing, because all of them are the worst. But he's one of the worst Edomites to ever walk the earth, man. You got now. This is me speaking as a man. You got Antiochus Epiphanes. This is not in any order. You got Antiochus Epiphanes the fourth. These top 5 Edomites, right? When they're dead, right, or alive if they get resurrected, right? You got Antiochus Epiphanes the fourth. You got Pontius Pilate. You got Nicanor. You got Haman. And this last, and Herod the Great, who sought to kill our Lord Yahushua. Now, you could disagree. You could say, well, what about Doeg the Edomite? Okay, but what about Alexander the Freak? Okay, well, what about this? Hey, those are my top 5 Edomites, man. Dead or alive. Primarily dead, but if they're alive, they're going to wish they was dead. So this Nicanor, we're going to read about Nicanor right here. First Maccabees 7 and 26. Then the king sent Nicanor, one of his honorable princes, a man that bare a deadly hate unto Israel, with commandment to destroy the people. Right? So remember, this hatred goes all the way back to Genesis. The hatred that Nicanor had, you got people saying, well, how do we know he's an Edomite? Right? He could be a Moabite. He doesn't say he's an Edomite. Well, he's an Edomite, man. Right? We know in his spirit that he's an Edomite. Doesn't have to say Nicanor the Edomite or Nicanor the Moabite. He damn sure wasn't a Moabite or a Hamite. He didn't have the spirit of a Hamite. Now, this is a leading indicator. He had deadly hate unto Israel. Right? Let's go to Genesis real quick. Quick precept. Genesis chapter 27. Right? This is Genesis chapter 27 and verse number 41. Here's what the Lord said after Jacob got the blessing and the birthright, right? Genesis 27 and 41. This proves that Nicanor is an Edomite, that same hatred that goes back to Esau from the very beginning. Genesis 27 and 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Right? And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And who told this to Rebekah? Remember, Esau didn't say this out loud. He said this in his heart. He was thinking this. Hey, but Yahweh Shmuel Shah was working with Jacob. So the Lord had the spirit hop on Rebekah to understand whether it was an angel or a prophet or however. Whatever Esau said in his mind, the Most High extracted it and told it to Rebekah. Right? And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, proposing to kill thee. And you got to think about that, man. People might be plotting against you in their mind, right? But the Most High then put the spirit on somebody else to understand that and deliver you from that situation. God knows what could have happened to certain brothers that can't. Where people thought, I'm going to go roll up on them and I'm going to shoot them. I'm going to roll up on them. I'm going to stab them. I'm going to roll up on them and I'm going to trample them down like the mire in the streets. But the Most High, he hears your thoughts, man. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. The Lord can take the thoughts that you have and tell somebody else the thoughts you have by an angel or by a man of the Lord, man, or by a dream. So the point is, Esau said, I'm going to mourn for my father for now. Then I'm gonna murder my brother Jacob. Right? Salakia. And it says Esau hated Jacob. That's also the point because Nicanor bare a deadly hate unto Israel. And we don't have to do an in-depth breakdown covering how we know that the so-called white man hates Jacob, right? We don't have to do an in-depth breakdown. I mean, time would fail us. That'll be a whole series, the hatred of Esau, right? And these were, actually, I read that already, but I want to touch on this latter point again. Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, proposing to kill thee. That's how Esau gets comfort, right? He doesn't get comfort how you and I get comfort. How did Isaac get comfort, man, when his mother died? Go back and read Genesis 24, right? And he laid down with Rebekah, man. He got comfort. How did Bathsheba get comfort, man? When her son died. How did David comfort her, man? How do we get comfort, man? You might get comfort from a woman. You might get comfort from a glass of wine, right? You might get comfort by just relaxing, man. Kind of chilling out. That's how we get comfort. Might have a little meal kind of that you got set up, man. Maybe, your favorite meal. Might have a drink or something, man. Or you might kick your feet up, man. And you might put on a movie if you like a movie. Or you might listen to music if you want to listen to some music. And you chilling out. You comfortable. But the only way that Esau comforts himself is to kill us. That's why I tell you in the book of Proverbs, the 4th chapter, that they sleep not unless they cause some to fall. Right? Let me get that in Proverbs, and I'll go back to First Maccabees, right? This is Proverbs chapter 4 and verse number 16. For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. So the so-called white man can't sleep. He's tossing and turning, right? No melatonin, no NyQuil, nothing could put him to sleep, man. Only thing that can make him go to sleep is if you wake up in the middle of the night, get one of them masks that make it seem like it's a Jake, go in the hood and do a damn drive-by, man. Then he go home, take his damn mask off, and then he can go to sleep, knowing that he murdered a young man. He can't go to sleep unless he molested a little boy, man. These Catholic priests, they don't get sleep at night unless they tiptoe into the cell with them little boys are, pull their pants down and flip them, man. Salakia for the vulgarity, man. Hey, but it is what it is. They can't sleep unless they cause somebody to die or fall. Right? And I'm led to believe, man, even to this very day, a lot of these old Edomites, they age like that. They can't sleep at night, man. They get all these wrinkles, man. They stressed out. They can't make babies. Our ways are of another fashion. And as long as we alive, they're going to be stressed the hell out, man. Right? They're going to be stressed the hell out. So let's go back to this. This is that deadly hate. And I want to go back to Genesis, quick account, right? Genesis 25 and verse number 20. I want to get straight to the point. And 23. This is the womb of Rebekah. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. So remember, they were struggling in the womb, right? At verse 22, it says, and the children struggled together within her. So the progenitor of the so-called white race, Esau, and the progenitor of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, which is Jacob, even in the womb, they were struggling. They were fighting. They were scrapping. They was beefing. They was throwing hands. Now you can say, well, who won? Well, we know who won. Jacob was giving Esau hell in that womb. And Esau tried to get out that womb, and Jacob grabbed him by his heel, man. Said, I'm not done with you, man. If you want to know how it went in the womb, look at Floyd, Ali, Frazier, what's that guy's name? George, damn, man. The bald guy, man. George Foreman. Right? Sugar Ray Robinson. right? What's his name? Joe Lewis, and the other man from back in the 20s that was beating up the Edomites, man. That was in the 1920s, man. I can't remember his name. You know his name. He was out there knocking out them Edomites, man. And he was taking a woman from them. If I remember his name, it'll come back to me. But that's how it went in the womb. They was fighting and beefing. Right? There was Jack Johnson, that's his name. Right? Jack Johnson. Right? Right? So they was fighting and beefing in the womb. Right? So that's where that hatred goes back to concerning Nicanor. Right? So let's go back to read this. First Maccabees 7-26. Then the king sent Nicanor, one of his honorable princes, a man that bare deadly hate unto Israel, with commandment to destroy the people. So Nicanor came to Jerusalem with a great force, and sent unto Judas and his brethren deceitfully with friendly words, saying, let there, and that's how this devil get down. He deals deceitfully, but with friendly words. That's what the Most High said, never trust thine enemy. For as iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. He said, let there be no battle between me and you. I will come with a few men that I may see you in peace. So we're going to jump down. Like I said, I'm not going to read this whole chapter, but you can go back and read First Maccabees, the 7th chapter. Right? Slakia. You can go back and read this chapter on your own. I want to get straight to the point, though. I want to jump down. This is First Maccabees, chapter 7 and 47. So this after they had the battle with Nicanor, and they let me get these brothers in Salakia. Let me send this out. Right? Bear with me. So this I want to get this. Bear with me 1 second. So you read about this battle. Every brother should read First Maccabees. Right? Every brother should read First Maccabees. Chiefly, like I said, chiefly that 7th chapter. Right? Chiefly that 7th chapter. Right? So bear with me. Let me pull this back up. Get these brothers in here. Most I willing. Right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, First Maccabees chapter 7 and verse number, bear with me. Slakia. All right, First Maccabees chapter 7 and verse number 47. And afterwards they took the spoils and the prey and smote off Nicanor's head and his right hand, which he stretched out so proudly, and brought them away and hanged them up toward Jerusalem. For this cause the people rejoiced greatly, and they kept that day a day of great gladness. So this is a day of great gladness, not a day of just grinning, doing a creepy grin, man. Not a day of just smiling, right? Just no, man. This is a day of great gladness, man. A day of righteousness, man. A day of what they call righteously turning up for the Most High, man. And you might put on some truth music, man, or you know whatever you want to play in righteousness, right? And you might put a garment on, man. And you might throw a feast. You don't have to eat ramen noodles on that day, man. Spaghetti in that big pot, man. It's your third day eating that, brother. You don't have to eat that for the destruction of Nicanor, man. Right? That big pot of spaghetti, man. Let me get Yara down in here. Shalom, King.
Shalom.
Shalom. Yeah, you don't have to eat that, man. Right? You get some lamb, man. And you can put something on the grill. And you might get some goat, man. And you might try some venison. And you might get some whatever, man. You might want to throw down. It's a day of great gladness. Here it is, the Lord killed your enemy that sought to kill you and root us out the earth. And this devil, man, when you read this account, man, this devil was wicked, man. They said the Most High commanded us to keep the Sabbath day. This devil said, hey, I'm mighty too on the earth, man. I mean, who says that, man? This devil said, I'm also mighty on the earth. Right? And he said, I'm gonna make Jerusalem a common burial ground to the people, man. I'm gonna bury all y'all Negroes, man. And I'm mighty on the earth. And he built I believe he built a monument, if I'm not mistaken. He made his own idol. He threatened the priests of the Lord, man. He was deceitful. He sold us on ships. You got a yard done. I want to get that account. If you ain't have something.
No, I was just gonna simply let me back off the point that you don't want to do nothing minuscule for the Lord. You don't want to have crackers and cheese. I mean, now if that's what you got, in all praises. But if you can definitely do more than that, by all means.
Right, right. That's right. Let's get this. If you can do more, man, the Lord said, whatsoever you put your hand to do it all of your might, right? Second Maccabees chapter 8 and verse number 10. So Nicanor undertook to make so much money of the captive Jews as should defray the tribute of 2,000 talents, which the king was to pay to the Romans. So he was trying to muster up money to pay back his boss, the Romans, right? And he wanted to make money off of the captive Jews. So don't think that the Englishman, the Dutchman, the Frenchman were the only ones to sell you into slavery. They're not the first so-called white man. The Greeks did this, right? Wherefore, immediately he sent to the cities upon the seacoast, proclaiming a sale of the captive Jews and promising that they should have 80 bodies for 1 talent, not expecting the vengeance that was to follow upon him from the Almighty God. So he had a slave trade. This is before the sub-Saharan slave trade, before the transatlantic slave trade, before the Silk Road slave trade. This is the Mediterranean slave trade, and it's not going to be found in your local textbook. Huh? These cities upon the seacoast are upon the Mediterranean Sea: Corinth, Thessalonica, Rome, these different places, man. Right? And he said, guess what? I'm selling the so-called black man, Hispanic and Native American man. How much do you have to offer? I'll sell you to you cheap. Right? So this is a big deal, man. I'm gonna jump down to verse number 14. Others sold all that they had left, and withal besought the Lord to deliver them, being sold by the wicked Nicanor before they met together. Right? Being sold. This devil was selling you, man. So it's not a small thing. It's not a small matter concerning Nicanor. Right? It's not a small matter. They chopped off this man's head. They chopped off his tongue, man. And they fed it to the fowls of the air. So all praises to Yahweh Shema Shai. Brothers should be keeping the destruction of Nicanor. Right? Keep the destruction of Nicanor with great gladness. You got something, Yardan?
God, Joel 3 and 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Just let me backing off of the point that they definitely put us in hardcore slavery and bondage and servitude. And it wasn't pretty. We weren't indentured servants. We weren't working for money. We weren't released upon our 7th year. There was nothing that effective. Exodus chapter 21 and 1 on down. It was nothing but cruelty and a lot of wickedness towards the nation of Israel. And so, you really should have you should really see this and it should bring a big smile on your face. There's no time to be in a house of mourning. You should be in a house of mirth as these feast days occur. That goes for us too. It feels like the world may be weighing upon your shoulders. You're thinking about bills, etc. You got to toss those thoughts to the side because that's Satan trying to take away a joyful feast day, something that's beautiful, something that the Lord allowed us to have, an opportunity that shouldn't be going wasted.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And I want to get this real quick in 2nd Maccabees 15. Just want to get the part where they chopped his tongue off, right? Or out, rather. Second Maccabees 15:32. And showed them vile Nicanor's head, and the hand of that blasphemer, which with proud brags he had stretched out against the holy temple of the Almighty. And when he had cut out the tongue of that ungodly Nicanor, he commanded that they should give it by pieces unto the fowls and hang up the reward of his madness before the temple. Now, if this happened in today's society, they'll call this war crimes. They'll call these crimes against humanity or war crimes, man. These things, let a so-called black man do this now, man. Right? This is the power the Most High gave us. This would be all over the news. They would bring this guy to what they call it, World Court or something like that. I can't think of the exact name of it, right? The Court of Nations or what have you, man. They'll bring this guy. Hey, look, man, you violated the crimes of humanity. These are war crimes. Per this council, the Geneva Council, and this council, you are not allowed to mutilate heads, chop off tongues, and you can't do that. Go by war according to the protocols that we signed it for. So this would be a big deal. This would be a controversy. This would be world news. Now, keep in mind, Judas and these men, these are so-called Haitians, man, of the tribe of Levi. Right? So you know they would give these Levites hell today if they was down there in Haiti chopping off so-called white man's heads from Greece and hanging it up in a temple, man. Hey, they'll send a NATO over there. They'll invoke Article 5. These Haitians think they are, man. Chopping off these men's heads, man. So that's how Jake get down through the spirit and power of. They chopped his tongue off, and like you feed the birds, see these old ladies feeding birds, and they don't throw. When you watch people feed birds, or if you fed birds, they don't just throw the whole bag at one time, because they enjoy the company of the birds. You know, they enjoy watching the birds eat. They be fighting for a piece, and one might fly away with a piece in his mouth, and there he goes. So when they were feeding it to the fowls, this was they did this in patience. They took their time, right? It wasn't just do this and leave. They, little piece of his tongue right there. They kind of eat it, man. The kids laughing and turning up, man. Music loud. Next guy kind of throw a piece of tongue and, hey, I want to throw a piece. So he gave it to the next guy. He had a bag of tongue and he kind of threw it over there in the fowl. Hey, this is how our forefathers got down, man. You got to visualize this. Don't just read it fast and try to eat your lamb. You got to visualize these things, man, and understand, the dynamics of this, right? And he hung up his head, man. Somebody had to climb up there. Maybe it didn't kind of sit right, so he said, "Give me a spear," and he put the spear in the wall, but the spear had to kind of, have a nice foundation. So they probably had to get some type of substance to stick the spear down, because you don't make a wall just to hang a head up. So they have to kind of improvise. So somebody holding the head right now, people probably punching it, man, before they get it up on the wall. And he's spitting on his head, and to give it to the guy, he probably hanging him up by his hair. It's probably cold, stiff, They probably damn threw it up there or sent somebody up there to get it, and they took it and they stuffed it on the spear, man, on the wall. He probably had blood on his hands, man, and blood on his garment. Music real loud in the background, people turning up, people giving speeches, and I want to say this, and I would like to say this, and this was a big deal, right? That's what verse number 34 says. So every man praised toward the heaven, the glorious Lord, saying, blessed be he that have kept his own place undefiled. He hanged also Nicanor's head upon the tower, an evident and manifest sign unto all of the help of the Lord. And they ordained with a common decree, in no case to let that day pass without solemnity, but to celebrate the 13th day of the 12th month, which in Assyrian tongue is called Adar, the day before Mordecai's day. Thus went it with Nicanor, and from that time forth, the Hebrews had the city in their power, and here will I make an end. So keep that day with great gladness, the 13th day of the 12th month, which is really tomorrow night at sundown, right? Tomorrow night at sundown, right? You got it, King.
God, and this is Psalm chapter 118, verse 23. This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And so it is tomorrow, as in every day, but chiefly tomorrow as well. This is one a high day because we get to marvel and really be excited about something for once. You know, there's nothing out in this world that's exciting. There's nothing here that can make us really smile the way that a feast day can. You know, after a long day of work, pre-adventure, you know, your work day fall on a feast day or the feast day fall on the work day, you got something to look forward to, right? And that's to be with Israel if you have the chance. And that's to really, glorify the name of the Lord and bask in the righteousness. You know, this is your heritage. You don't have to, hit the club anymore. You don't have to go down the street and roll dice. You don't have to go, to Nene's house. You don't have to do the things that you used to in the world. This is what your life is. This is what your life is about now. And that's beautiful, you know. It's supposed to be glorifying and thanking the Lord for these days, you know. Some men they aren't alive to be able to rejoice in it. So, you have to really appreciate it.
Come. That's right. All praise to the Most High. Right? Hey, Yaradan's absolutely right, man. We only got one chance in this truth, man, to do the work and to turn up for righteousness. There is no seeking holy days in a grave, right? This is it. So we also got some, Yaradan, you got anything else on Nicanor before we get into some current events? Okay, Slocky too. Also, so you got destruction of Nicanor, Tuesday night at sundown until Wednesday night at sundown. A day of great gladness. It is not a Sabbath, it is a day of great gladness. Right? If you can buy and buy or sell and sell what you have to prior to the sun going down, by all means, right? In sincerity, pursuant to Nehemiah 10 and 31. You also have immediately following the destruction of Nicanor is Purim, right? Back-to-back days of Purim. Purim lasts 2 days. So, read First Maccabees 7 or all of as much as First Maccabees as you can, but chiefly First Maccabees 7, and read Second Maccabees as much as you can, but chiefly chapter 15. And then with Purim, you should be able to read Esther. There's only 10 chapters in Esther in the Old Testament. Then you have to read the additions of Esther as well. So we got a lot that we got to get into in the spirit. Now you can say, well, no, I'm reading. I want to figure out how long was Susanna's braids and what kind of veil did she have. I'm really doing my research. Brother, that's fine, brother. I'll read Esther and later I'm tapped into her braids. Were they brown braids? Were they box braids? Brother, you can figure that out later, brother. Right? If your heart fancies that, you should try to focus on being in tune with the spirit of the Most High and read Esther, man. Read these accounts. We have back-to-back days of holy days. So you got Nicanor Tuesday night at sundown to Wednesday night at sundown. First day of Purim, Wednesday night at sundown until Thursday night at sundown. Second day of Purim, Thursday night at sundown until Friday night at sundown. Then you got your Shabbat that comes in Friday night at sundown until Saturday night at sundown. So many righteous days back to back to back to back, right? Just get a quick precept. And I encourage you, brothers, to read Esther, right? This is Esther 9 and 17. On the 13th day of the month of Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested they, and made it a day of feasting and gladness. So it's a day of feasting and gladness. But the Jews that were in Shushan assembled on the 13th day thereof, and on the 14th day, 14th thereof, and on the 15th day of the same they rested, and made it a day of feasting and gladness. Therefore, the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month of Adar a day of gladness and feasting and a good day. Let me jump down to verse 21. To establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month of Adar and the 15th day of the same yearly, as the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor. So you can give to the poor, send portions and gifts and food one to another, right? These are the things that you can do on this day. You got it, King.
Oh, you got it.
Con.
Oh
That's
yeah, yeah. You know what? I will bring some out actually.
con.
Sirach chapter 12
Con.
in start of verse 1.
Con.
When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it, so shall thou be thanked for thy benefits. You have to be wise when you do good. You know, you don't want to be moving in foolishness. This isn't Christmas, right? A lot of people think Purim is Christmas. It isn't Christmas.
Right.
That's not the spirit of Purim. Is to kind of wear hats in red and green and white and make gingerbread man houses. And then you got, Haman on the top of it, hanging on the gallows. You can't mix these wines and you can't mix cloth with another cloth, right? This is an entirely different occasion, an entirely different spirit with an entire different nation of people. And so you have to know how to properly conduct yourself on these holy days. And so with that being said, when a brother just recently brought out, you have to, they gave gifts. You have to give appropriate gifts. Don't give a brother, I don't recommend giving a brother 2 cases of beer. You know, just maybe 5, 6 packs of beer. You're gonna overthrow that brother. You're really setting him up for demise. You try and get him drunk. You know, don't give a brother, a diamond necklace. Don't you got to be wise when you operate in this world. You know, so when thou doest good, know to whom thou doest it. So shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense, and if not from him, yet from the Most High. Don't give money, $30, your paycheck, unto the man down the street that's always sniffing glue. It's not profitable. He doesn't need that. He's going to sniff more glue. Give to the godly man and help not a sinner. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread and give not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby. For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him. You know, you giving a man $10 and he take your wallet. That happened in the Jetsons in the intro. The husband was about to give the wife something and she took the whole wallet. If you ever seen that growing up, but you got to be wise as a serpent as well in these days. If you find it in your heart to do alms and charity unto your people and to your people,
Right.
you got to specify unto your people. Remember, Haman, the Edomites, the Agagites, these heathen, they were going to hang us. I mean, you will look like a fool to reward them. You will look like a complete nincompoop, a fool, one of the sons of Belial. But with that, I yield.
Con. That's right. That's right. And just diving into some recent current events, right? Just want to touch on a few current events. This Monday Night Fire won't be as long, right? So we just want to touch on a few current events. This is Trump says he is ready to attack Iran in the name of Israel, right? Here's what he said, right? There are two ways to handle Iran: militarily, or you make a deal. He's always giving somebody an ultimatum. I prefer a deal because I don't want to hurt the Iranian people, right? So this is proud, right? This is proud. He said, I don't want to hurt anybody, right? I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to destroy y'all. Make a deal. So essentially saying that if Iran doesn't get down, now this is regarding the nuclear deal, right? Is Iran essentially going to be given the resources or the capabilities or even a green light to create a nuclear weapon, right? With the technology that they have. Now, they're saying we want to make this weapon, man. Pursuing the Joel the third chapter, let the weak say, I am strong. The rest of the powers, the Edomite powers that be in that region, they say, we're not giving y'all the green light to make a weapon. Iran says, stop us if you want to. He said, all right, look, man. Either we can make a deal, we can figure this thing out, or we can go to war. Iran said, hey, look, man, let's do what we got to do. So you got, now they didn't say it exactly like that, but that's what they saying, right? And that's prophecy. Right? It's prophecy. One of the fundamental prophecies that Yahweh Shah taught is that there will be wars and there will be rumors of wars, right? And I'm actually get that real quick in Luke, the 21st chapter, right? I want to get this, man, because you may say, well, they keep talking and I haven't seen any action yet. Well, it has to build up. This thing is building up. And the beautiful thing about it is it's always progressive. It's not as if these rumors are setbacks. These things are going to they're constantly building blocks, right? So it's always beautiful, even if it's a rumor. You can't get discouraged and say, "Oh, well, they ain't pressed the button yet," whatever. No, that's the Most High. By little and by little, right? Slowly building up this society to go to war in the so-called Middle East, right? Now, I want to get this. I'm not going to pull it up on the screen, but this is Luke chapter 21 and verse number 9. These are signs of the end of the world. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And eventually, you're going to have kingdom against kingdom. The kingdom of Iran against the kingdom of Babylon, right? You're going to have Joel, the second chapter, the latter part of Daniel 11, right? You're going to have Jeremiah 50, Joel 3, Revelation 16, Armageddon. You're going to have military conflict with America and Iran. It may not be this week. It may not be today. Hey, but it is going to come, right? You got it, King.
God, I was gonna say, it was just last year, and it might have been another story that was pretty recent as well. But Iran discovered giant shale oil reserves in several regions. Now, whenever a nation, a country, a city finds oil, America's the first one that comes in, and they come in the name of their god, money or gold, and they say we need to liberate this place. That's the spirit they move in. They did it with Panama. They're trying to do it again. He said we need to take back Panama from China. They did it with South America. They tried to do it with Venezuela. They did it with Haiti. They're trying to do it with Canada. They're always trying to. They're what's the word? They're insatiable. They're wolfish. They fiend for the resources upon this nation. I had a precept.
Huh.
I mean, it slipped my mind. God.
So most I willing to come back to you, but this is what's going down, man. And Trump, he's pushing, like we brought up before, imperialism on a massive level. Like y'all said, he's looking to go to Greenland and take Greenland down from the EU. He's looking to take Canada down. He said we can make Canada the 51st state, right? He's looking to take over Iran or the Gaza Strip and turn it into a resort and make Americans have 1,000 jobs. So this is imperialism. This is I want to get this in Habakkuk, right? We bring it out all the time.
Hey, took my
Right.
precept.
Oh, go ahead, Ken. Go ahead.
No, I was about to get it. You got it.
No, go ahead. Bring it up.
Habakkuk chapter 2. I want to start at verse 1. I'll jump down. I will stand upon my watch and set up me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Right? And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right? These things are plain upon the table. What was about to be brought out through the Spirit It's not a dark parable. It's not too crazy. This is plain. Jumping down to verse 9. That's our verse 8. And it reads, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house. And the Lord said, thou shalt not covet,
Right.
that he may set his nest upon high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Let me jump down to verse 12.
Whole chapter's fire.
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood. You said what?
So the whole chapter's fire. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's mean. I'm gonna give verse 10. So like it. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house. And that's true. America's a shameful house. It's a broken down, beat up, no bolts on the door, no mat in the front door, stairs broken, the window blinds are all broken into, cracks in the windows type of house. Shameful. Every nation around the world, whenever they hear the words America, they scoff. And they have
Right.
something negative to say, rightfully so. Is this pink man, this red little devil baby. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people. And that's exactly what he does with his forked tongue. It says in Psalms, I believe 52 and verse 2 on down, that let's see, I get it. I don't want to misquote that one. Psalms 52 and verse 2. And it reads, thy tongue deviseth mischief like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Salah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living. Salah. And this is a saying that Esau is going to be taken up in the kingdom. And we're going to have our servants, the Edomites and the nations, but specifically Esau, we're going to have them sing this to us. Because it's about them.
Right.
And that's exactly fitting for them. Because he did surely those things, which was just wicked. Speaking evil. Look what you did to Gad. When's the last time you seen a Gadite walking down the street? Nowhere to be found. Because you pushed them all towards the reservations. And you want him in the back of your mind. Right? But I digress. Diving back into Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 10. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam of the tower shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth the tower with blood, and establishes the city by iniquity. And remember, the blood rises up and crieth before the Lord. If I'm not mistaken, that's Genesis 4 and 10. That's also in the book of Revelation. The blood crieth up. The blood is under the houses that you've made. Behold, is it not of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor? Well, that's really it. I get one more. Woe unto him, verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor a drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunk, and also that thou mayest look on their nakedness. And that's what he did with his allies. Japan, France, Canada, Mexico. You made all your neighboring cities, your allies, drunk. And you get somebody drunk for a reason, because you want to take advantage of them. You want to do stuff. You want to do weird stuff. You want to pull a Ham, looking upon his father's nakedness and just marveling and seeing everything they got. Like a pervert in a club, spiking drinks. But you got it.
That's right. That's right, man. This I want to add to that. This Isaiah chapter 14 and verse number 6. Right? Isaiah 14 and 6. Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, meaning the Most High taking away their rulership. Right? Scepters are used for kings, right? To represent their royalty and power. Verse number 6. He who smote the people in wrath with the continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. So the Lord said that the so-called white man rules the nations in anger. And it says that they're beaten with a continual stroke, man. Meaning they're always at war. They're always in conflict. It's like they're always involved in some dispute, man, for land, resources, right? Money, finances, religion. They're always beating the nations down with a continual stroke. Threats, man. That's what they call it, the violent man. He puffeth up himself, telling Iran, and we can get down. This pretty much get down to lay down. There are two ways to handle Iran. Pretty much, hey, look, I'll kill you, man, if you don't make a deal. Now, the Most High said these Romans, it says, through their policy, they cause craft to prosper in their hand. So even if you make a deal, that deal isn't going to be in your favor. You're not going to have an upper hand in this deal. That's why you're not the one making the deal, Iran. America, they're trying to make the deal. And they're making a deal for their interest that they have in that land and for their interest that they have in the long term for their people, man. So Iran's, I don't think they're going to make this deal, man. Now, if they make the deal, they make the deal, but I don't think they're going to make a deal. We want the Most High. Better yet, I'll say it like this. Better yet, we want the Most High to put in their spirit not to make a deal. We want this to be handled militarily, man. Because y'all been talking too much, man. It's been far too long. Y'all done killed their general. They shooting at Iran. And when y'all going to finally get it in, man? Like in school, man, the cafeteria, man, everybody kind of, or behind the school, I meet you at 3 p.m. at the playground or, at the court, and everybody kind of show up, man. We want to see that with America and Iran. Everybody show up. And stop just talking, man. Right? You have something else on this, King?
Yeah, stop yapping. Being a yapaholic. Don't be a cloud full of rain and not rain.
Right.
Let the cat out the bag.
Right. That's right. That's right, man. Spill the damn beans. Spill the beans. Right? You got let me pull this up. You have, what else do we have? South Korea and the United States. This from GMI, right? You got to get down with these whistleblowers, right? These whistleblowers, these inside men, right? They're spilling the beans. South Korea and the United States have commenced their annual Freedom Shield military exercise. North Korea has issued repeated warnings, ultimately declaring that the United States and South Korea will pay a horrible price for proceeding with what it calls a dangerous provocation. If North Korea follows through on its threats, it will likely involve some form of military provocation, such as large-scale exercises, missile tests, or other displays of force. This could serve as the first true test for the Trump administration, as North Korea may attempt to probe the new administration's red lines and gauge its response to increased tensions. See that? So now you got it. Oh, go ahead, King.
I was going to say they better stop tempting us with a good time.
Right, man. If you're going to do something, do it, man. Right? You're going to do something, do it. Now, this is a big deal. This is Operation, what do they call this? Operation Freedom. Let me pull this back up. Freedom Shield military exercise. Right? It's like your Freedom Shield exercise, right? So they're setting this thing off, man. Right? What is the Freedom Shield exercise? This annual exercise aims to enhance the combined, joint, multi-domain, and interagency operating environment, thereby strengthening the alliance's response capabilities. FS-25 is a defense-oriented exercise featuring live, virtual, and field-based training that engages alliance forces and governmental agencies. So they pretty much doing war games. It's what you call war games and war drills between South Korea and the so-called United States. Look at them. Right? South Korea, and the United States. Joint allies. Laying down with the beast, man. Getting drunk off her wine. Right? Getting drunk off her wine. Look at this. Look at Jake, man. Just lost. I feel bad, man. Just out there. How do we get here?
Yeah.
Look at this. How did
Next to Moab.
right? And look, he not saying nothing. I'm not saying he didn't say nothing the whole meeting, but he looked like he doing all the talking. How do we get here, man?
He bored.
Cue ball, right? Turtle. Now Jake just scattered abroad, man. We're just scattered abroad in different positions and just Cornelius. You got apostles, you got the Cornelius, you got centurions. Different Italian bands, the Augustus band. So he's a somebody. He's not a nobody. He must be a big deal. When you up on that podium, you're a big deal. So Jake is always into something, in some position. Like Daniel, he was up in the Babylonian Empire, Joseph in Egypt, Mordecai in the Persian Empire, Nehemiah in the Persian Empire, right? So this is this big exercise, man, right? These are these big exercises that they have because again, the Most High, he's building up and amassing these nations for war, and South Korea is a weak nation. But I kind of quoted the precept in Joel, the 3rd chapter. It says, let the weak say, I am strong. Right? And these Ammonites and these Moabites, they're going to get involved in World War III, man. Right? They're going to get involved in World War III. Let me get a quick precept real quick in Jeremiah 49. Right? Quick precept concerning the Ammonites, right? Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse number, I'm going to start at 2. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will cause an alarm of war to be heard in Rabbah of the Ammonites, and it shall be a desolate heap, and her daughters shall be burned with fire. Then shall Israel be heir unto them that were his heirs, saith Yahweh. So these Ammonites are going to get it, and there's prophecies against the Moabites that they're going to have an alarm of war in Rabbah. Now, Rabbah was the chief city of the Ammonites, which is like your Rabbah is your modern day Tokyo, right? Your chief city of the Ammonites, right? And your chief city of was that South Korea? Was that Seoul? And North Korea's is like Pyongyang, one of the folly names, right? So you're going to have the alarm of war that's pushed out against these so-called Asian countries, right? There are prophecies not just against America, not just against Iran, but also concerning the children of Lot. When you read, let me get one more real quick in Psalms 83, right? The Lord said, "Assure is joined unto them; they have hope in the children of Lot." Right? Psalms 83 and 8. Assure is joined with them; they have hope in the children of Lot. Meaning what? The people of Assyria work hand in hand to oppress the Israelites. And they help the Ammonites and the Moabites come up with ideas of how to cut us off from being a nation. Remember, Psalms 83 is cutting us off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And when you read verse 6 on down, the Most High begins to name the different nations that are involved in cutting us off. And who else is involved? The children of Lot. Who's the children of Lot? Read Genesis 19. Ammon and Moab. Those are the children of Lot, and they're joined with these other nations to help cut us off. So they may have a joint alliance, but they're going to fall together. They're going to fall together. South Korea better wake up, man, and understand that them people up north are they brothers, and they better get down with the rest of these Moabite nations and stop trying to be a white man. Stop trying to be an Edomite, man. You better link up, cross that border. What is that? The 17th to 38th parallel. Get up there and get with your people, man. Because you linked up with America, you're gonna fall. But you got it, King.
No, that's facts. That's facts. They got to put on their traditional garments.
Right, right,
Link up with Kim Jong Un, say Salakia. You know, eat some cat, whatever they want to eat, dogs, and bump their heads together to just fight against America, and eventually die against Yahushua.
right.
But we know the Most High is going to orchestrate it how He wants to. The that's Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord.
That's right. That's right. That's the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. So you also had this going on. You had a massive cyber attack going on, right? Now they're saying that this potentially, I believe they said it came from Ukraine. Yarda, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Or they're saying it might have been a Russian, right? But there was a major cyber attack, and I don't think it was just Twitter or X. I think they said it hit other platforms as well, or other sites as well. So you have cyber attacks going on now. I haven't looked too much into it. This could be a false flag. It could be propaganda, and I'm blaming Russia, like they blame Russia for the elections, and the people of America believe it, so they can go to war. You never know how these devils operate, and nobody trusts Elon Musk. He's not a guy that you could watch my dog, or or hold on to this money for. He's completely untrustable, if that's a word, right? So when he comes out and says them, you got to question it, you know. But nevertheless, you had this cyber attack that went down, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. Was it Russia or not? Right? Yardan, you got something on this?
God, I was, thou shalt not lie. I was literally looking up for, for work, captivity stuff. I was looking up Twitter's data centers, and then I seen this like 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, and yeah, they said the Twitter's IP address was located or was hosted in Ukraine. Now, I'm not going to get into the details in it, tech, what's the technicals, but like the brother said, this could be either a false flag or it could be them. But it's definitely something noteworthy to highlight because this isn't a light thing to be hacking into a major application such as X or Twitter. Because once you are able to have that application, you're able to have millions of people's data, meaning sensitive information. In addition to that, they also have the role and opportunity to social engineer and manipulate the minds of America. Because when I seen this, it made me think of the movie Leave the World Behind. And in
Right,
that
right,
movie, you had all those flyers that
right,
caused mass confusion and also caused hysteria, mass hysteria. People were saying it's them, it's the Iranians, no, it's the Moabites, so on and
right.
so forth. And so this could easily be done, but through social media from our enemies or from the enemies of Russia or any other enemies of America. And they could easily say, America just slain 2 kids in Russia. They can say whatever they want, you know. They can manipulate tweets. They can do a lot of things. Whatever their hearts can imagine, they can execute it. So it's not a light thing. Also in the same time, Elon Musk, as the brother mentioned, he's not trustworthy. He's from South Africa, so called. He's a weirdo. He's a creep. Can you pull up a picture of him, Baba Shar? And he also uses his kid as a bulletproof vest, but that's a story for another day. He's a creep. He looked like a devil. That's all I'll say. He looked like a
Yeah.
pig.
I believe he dressed up like Satan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he dressed up like Satan. Yeah, if you pull that up, he dressed exactly up like Satan. Yeah, I don't want to trust. I don't want to listen to anybody that's dressing up like Satan, like the devil. Not to say the devil has horns like that, but we know that's their image of Satan. I'm not trusting in that man. He's moving in the spirit of an overlord, of a tyrant, a renegade, an oligarch. Look at this picture and tell me you trust him. Damn Teslas.
You know, that remind me of them ancient Roman breastplates that they would wear. You know, when you look at how the Romans, when they had let me see if I can pull that up. Roman, and I believe he changed his name to a Roman name, or he tried to. See that? Look, that's one of those ancient Roman, and the Romans were known for wearing red. Right? They were known for red. Most Edomites have red in their logo. The French, they have red in their flag. America, they have red. Britain, they wore red. They would actually wear red to war. In the 16, 17, 1800s, man. They wore red. You know, because they're an offshoot of those Romans. So he had nothing but a Roman ancient breastplate on. Now, I believe, look at this. This is what he had on from Imperial Rome. Right? Now, I believe he actually changed his name, right, to a Roman name. Yep. It says the meaning behind Cicius Maximus. Right?
Kikius.
Yeah. So right. The addition of Maximus likely invokes the heroic character Maximus Decimus Meridius, played by Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Musk has not provided an explanation for its new moniker or imagery, leaving followers to interpret its meaning. Well, we know why he changed his name to a Roman name, right? We know why he changed his name to a Roman name, right? See that? Because this is the ancient Rome, right? Now, one thing that these modern day Romans are known for is psyops, right? Psychological operations, right? They throw propaganda, like Yardan was saying, sorcery and witchcraft to work on the minds of the people, right? The ancient Romans did that. False flags like Nero, he would set things up, and Tiberius, and he's one of these ancient Romans back on the earth, man. All right, let me get a quick precept in Revelation. Right, so he's definitely one of the ancient. See, I typed there Romans. That's the spirit. He's definitely one of the ancient Romans back on the earth, man. Right, Revelation chapter 18 and 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all indeed. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all indeed. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. And America deals heavily with sorcery. You know what Elon Musk really is? He's Donald Trump's wise man.
The wizard.
Yeah, he's one of the wise men. Remember, every ancient nation consulted with wise men. When you read Genesis 41 and 8, Pharaoh had magicians and wise men. When you read 1 Samuel, the 6th chapter, the Philistines, they had diviners and wise men. When you read Esther 1 and 13 on down, King Ahasuerus, he had wise men. Esther 6 and 13 on down. Haman, he had wise men that plotted with him to help him overthrow the Jews. So wise men, their job is to tap into the left-hand side, and they work hand in hand with Satan. So you don't have to get your hands dirty. You hire these guys, and these guys might live with you. You know, and you might give them food or water. But these guys, they work hand in hand with Satan to get ideas, technology, and understanding to give unto you. You know, and that's all Elon Musk is, right? That's why he's set up by the Most High, right? So we don't know, was this really a hack? Was it a false flag? Is this the sorcery, the witchcraft? So people, can get on X and figure out what's going on. And we are still kind of looking into it. But like Yardan said, I mean, look at this guy, man. Upside down cross with a Baphomet, with a Roman legion breastplate on, and he changed his name to a Roman name. So he's probably one of those ancient Argors, or like those guys from 300, the oracles, right? And they said Sparta wages no war, and he gave these guys all these shekels of gold, man. And King Leonidas, one more point, he couldn't go to war. They told him you can't go to war unless you consult with the oracles. So he had to climb that mountain, right, and get up there and pay these damn guys off, man. And that's what Trump is doing. Trump is he's set up as one of the wise men that Trump consults with when it comes to governing his kingdom and fueling the beast. What you got it, King? It's a hell of a picture. All right. You got something yard down on this?
I was showing the clip. Oh, that was the wrong one.
Oh, so like you want to pull it back up?
Oracles. Huh?
You want to pull it up? The oracles?
God.
Yeah, it was freaked out. It was off. Oh, you playing it off? You showing it? All right, let me. Oh no, let me.
And the terrain of Greece herself to destroy them. We will march north to the coast, where I will make sure.
It's August, Leonidas. The full moon approaches.
The sacred and ancient festival. Sparta wages no war at the time of the Carneia.
Sparta will burn! Her men will die at arms, and her women and children will be slaves or worse. Now, we will block the Persian coastal assault by rebuilding the Great Phocian Wall, and from there we will funnel them into the mountain pass we call the Hot Gates. Now, in that narrow corridor, their numbers will count for nothing. And wave after wave of Persian attack will smash against Spartan shields. Xerxes' losses will be so great, his men so demoralized, he will have no choice but to abandon his campaign.
We must consult the oracle.
Worthless remnants of the time.
We must consult the oracles. And that's what Trump is doing. He ain't kind of walking, I must consult the oracles. And he tripping, and then he opened a dark room, and there's Biden in there too, because they're all in cahoots. Right. And he can't really talk right, but he's an oracle. All these men in Congress, they're all wizards, but there's a little bit more.
Great. His men so demoralized, he will have no choice but to abandon his campaign.
We must consult the oracle.
Worthless remnants of the time before Spartans is sent from darkness.
Yeah.
So they start freaking off, man. Right? They start freaking off. So the point is, like brothers are saying, all of this stuff, it goes back to Esau, his propaganda, his sorcery, and his witchcraft. Right? Now here's something else going on. Right? Joint. So keep watching that, right? That Ukraine attack, was it Russia? Are they going to blame the Russians for hacking into? Are they building up that's what I'm looking for. Building up a case against Russia. They hacked into the elections, they hacked into Twitter or X, and are they essentially trying to use this as propaganda for a false flag or to go to war that they can use the American people, right? So they can buy in to that war. They want people to buy into that war. They saw what happened in Vietnam. They saw what happened when people woke up to the Iraqi war, when they proclaimed they were going there for weapons of mass destruction. People aren't really too into America's motives nowadays. So now they're trying to build up a case so the public can buy in to them going to war with Russia and China, right? That's that sorcery and witchcraft. But while that's going on, it says joint naval maneuvers between Iran, Russia, and China to start tomorrow, right? Russian and Chinese warships entered Iranian territorial waters in preparation for the launch of Maritime Security Belt 2025. Maneuvers tomorrow, Tuesday, March 11th. This is tomorrow. You got war games with South Korea and America, and you got war games going on with the kings of the East. According to the media, this is the 5th exercise that has brought together the 3 countries since 2019. So they're getting it in as part of enhancing joint military cooperation. Iran continues to consolidate its defense partnerships with Russia and China as its two largest strategic allies on the international stage. And you brothers should immediately think of at least one precept when you hear of Russia, Iran, and China, right? And I want to get it, most I will. Let's go to Revelation chapter 16. That's major prophecy about the kings of the east coming together, right? Major prophecy. This is Revelation chapter 16, right? And verse number 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So these are the kings of the east. Why they call it the east, kings of the east? Because they're east of the land of Israel. They're on the eastern side of the world, right? And that represents Russia, Iran, China. You have Pakistan. You have India. A lot of those nations are part of BRICS, right? Or they're part of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So they're all coming together eventually to be in that Middle East so the Battle of Armageddon can go down in that place, right? But you got it, King.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, also, you should think of BRICS, as the brother mentioned. There's an alliance between these nations. That's
Right.
Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, along with a few more countries that recently joined their union. And so these are international superpowers pretty much showing their might, flexing their muscles. And they're not just flexing their muscles towards their own nation, they're flexing them towards America. This is a psychological game, psychological warfare. Look what we're doing, and that's something definitely that needs to be in the front of your mind in these last days. You can't just see it and think, that's 1,000 miles away from me. That has nothing to do with me. I have to wake up and burp and fart tomorrow and go get my gas and feed my cat, get Taco Bell and then Subway and then pay my bills and then wash my shoes and wash my car. No, this plays a role in our life. This is serious, and the more you take it serious, the more, Lord willing, the Most High will reveal and shine that knowledge upon you, that all of this links up with the Bible. It's a reason why brothers are out there in the highways and byways. Not only is there a multitude of reasons, but this is a big reason as well that we're in the highways and byways. We're prophesying that the Lord is going to come. But upon his arrival, or before his arrival, there's going to be a lot, as he stated as well, our Lord Yahweh Shai, he stated that there's going to be rumors of wars. Read Matthew the 24th chapter. There's a lot of end time signs that's going to be present before our eyes. Right. He's going to make wonders in the heavens, wonders upon the earth. There's going to be blood moons this week. Right. There's what did you just post? Maritime warfare, flexing their muscles. You have the dollars slowly but surely decreasing. We hope it's more fast. The dollar's losing its value. These nations are hating America. When you put all these things together, you'll realize, wow, the end must be soon. And if not that, you should hope that the end is soon. Because I, for one, am tired of dealing with the follies and the carnalities of this world. Waking up dealing with Esau, telling him good morning. Nobody wants to tell Esau good morning. I don't want to shake his hand. I don't want to do this at work. I'm tired of waving at him. I'm tired of it. Now we know we got to be cordial, as Romans 12 and 17, but we don't want to do this. Don't forget where you are in this captivity, right? This is the land of your oppression. You got it.
And you have to understand that this is also judgment. See, the Most High, like we always bring out, he judges. It's like on Zephaniah. He judges by little and by little, right? The Most High didn't just say, you know what, Moses, we out, right? Take Israel, we out. And they just left the same day when the Lord, raised them up. No, the Most High took Egypt out by little and little, right? Plague after plague after plague after plague, It was a build up. And that's what the Most High is doing, man. Every kingdom that you see that has ruled, it's always been a build up. And when you look at the Romans, the Most High had them defeating a lot of those Gothic nations. When you study the Western Roman Empire, right? The Visigoths, the Lombards, the Burgundies, those Germanic tribes. But in process of time, while people were enjoying their life in Rome, doing what freaked out behavior, those nations were building up their weapons, man. They were building up their military. They were coming together. They were unifying. And they said, we're going to take down Rome. And they sacked Rome, man. Right? And that's what you see going on now. While people are in modern day Rome, eating and drinking and being merry and going to work, these other nations are doing what these nations have always been doing. They're unifying against Rome. Right? When the Persian Empire was in power, those Greek city-states, they came together. When people was in Shushan, the palace, eating and drinking and being merry, Persepolis, right? And all these different provinces, 127, man. Hey, what do you think these Greeks was doing, man? They was training, man. They were getting ready for war, saying there's no new thing under the sun. So that's what's going on now. And eventually, Persia fell, right, by the Greeks. Eventually, Rome fell by those Gothic nations, man. And eventually, America is going to fall in like manner. There's no new thing under the sun. And this is Zephaniah 3 and 5, right, to back that up. It reads, the just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. So there's not a morning that goes by when the Most High doesn't bring judgment out. This is judgment. Judgment is not just death and missiles. Judgment is, you know what? I'm going to make your enemies make a confederate against you. I'm going to make them do war games and build up technology to destroy you, man. I'm going to instill fear in the heart of your citizens, man. All right, I'm going to put your worst enemies together. See, the Lord did, when you read, let me get one quick precept, one more. It was at 1 Kings. What did the Lord do to King Solomon when Solomon was off, man? The Lord raised up an adversary, right? Hadad the Edomite. This is 1 Samuel 11. It's like in 1 Kings, right? This is 1 Kings. See, this is what I want. 11 and 14. And the Lord raised up an adversary unto Solomon. Hadad the Edomite, he was of the king's seed in Edom. So when Solomon started going off, the Lord stirred up an adversary. The Lord is stirring up Iran. He's stirring up Russia. He's stirring up China. The Most High will stir up nations. It will stir up your boss, man. And here you are breaking the Shabbat. Now your boss giving you hell, man. You slothful and you're wicked. The Lord stirred up the police to follow you home, man. Right? And damn, kick your door down. The Lord will stir up anybody, man. And he has no problem doing so. So when we look at this is the Most High stirring up Russia. He's stirring up China. He's stirring up Iran. He putting that spirit in them, man. Every morning there's something going down, right? But it said the unjust knoweth no shame. If you don't have any shame, you're going to take this as if, it ain't no missile yet. Wait, do the cold cut when the missiles come, right? Do the live when it's Jacob's trouble. Then I'll tune in, right? And you got to tune in now, man, and start getting your spirit right. You can't tune in when it's Jacob's trouble. It's too late. You want to tune in when the missiles are raining in the sky. It's too late. You got to know that this is judgment of the Most High, right? You got it, King. Right? Well, until the brother come back, this is judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Now, also, right? We got a few more, maybe one or maybe two more. You had a lot of talk today about the stock market crashing, right? There was a lot of talk about the stock market crashing, right? Let me go back. Right? This was a big deal. That is from NPR to 6 hours ago, right? Stock slump yet again as fears grow about tariffs and a recession, right? And a recession. So a lot of people are worried, man. They looked at the stocks. People really look at this, man. And they're scared to death. And Jake, a lot of Jake may not really know about the stocks. You may not look into it. You might think it has nothing to do with your life. right? You live in your silo or you go about your business, and whatever. Hey, but this thing is also with the Most High's touching. He's also stirring up these Edomites to make decisions to cripple and destroy their own economy. Here it is, tariffs. He's putting tariffs on Canada. And Trump really thought that these nations were just going to lay down. And the Most High stirred them up to say, man, hey, look, the hell with you, man. Are you going to put tariffs on us? After all we did for you? You going to put tariffs on me? Okay. Okay. All right. Come. Right? Or how do you say less? Okay, I got you. That's what Canada's at right now. Hey, a lot of these Canadians, man, they're not as docile as you think. They're not as peaceful as you think. They're beginning to talk, man. And they kind of feeling themselves. Mexico feeling themselves. A lot of these nations, man, they feeling themselves. Right? And there are people that are fearing the growth of the economy of America, right? Based off of these tariffs. Let's go to Isaiah 19 real quick. Right? Right? This is a beautiful chapter. I mean, this chapter is mighty. Right? This Isaiah chapter 19 and verse number 12. I'll start at 11. Surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings. So what the Most High said is the people that have master's and doctorate degrees in political science, economics, microeconomics, supply chain, all these different people who are supposed to be wise counselors to show, the people how to run the economy, they become brutish. They become fools. What a horrible decision to give the green light to put tariffs on these nations, saying that, okay, well, America be the richest country in years. Just watch. That's a brutish decision. And that is not a decision that America would make in the 1950s, 1940s, right? That's why America prospered back then. They made decisions now they put tariffs on people, but they made decisions that were beneficial for that time. That's not beneficial for America's time right now. America has no business putting tariffs on other nations right now. You're trillions of dollars in debt. Your currency is being devalued. Your bridges are falling apart. You have internal conflict. Murder is at an all-time high in your country. Imprisonment is at an all-time high. Your education system is at the bottom of the barrel. Your priorities are out of order. So for you to make a conscious decision to put tariffs on nations who border you is madness. So how are you the son of the wise men? How are you the son of ancient kings? Ancient kings make decisions that prolong empires. Trump and these people are making decisions that are destroying his empire. Verse number 12. Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell me now. It's like, and let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts hath proposed upon Egypt. So the Most High, he's running the show. You can't propose anything if I already proposed it. That's what the Most High said. Whatever decision you make, I'm the one that really made it. I'm the one calling the shots. The princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Noph are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. So Egypt is seduced. These Americans, they voted for Trump, they're seduced. These politicians, economists, forecasters, they are seduced. They really believe in their mind that America is going to be great again by these decisions and foreign policy that Trump has. They're seduced, rocked to sleep, drunken. So there's something called a seducing spirit. Remember, the Most High tell you that in 1 Timothy, the 4th chapter. You have seducing spirits, and they don't just bring doctrines, right? This 1 Timothy chapter 4 and 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, Remember, Ahab's prophets had a seducing spirit on him. Saul pretty much had a seducing spirit on him. These Edomites, who are the round table of Trump and his advisors, they have a demon on them, a seducing spirit, right? And what that spirit is foreign policy causing American citizens and allies of America to somewhat trust in them, right? Knowing or not knowing, rather, that these decisions that they make in their foreign policy is going to self-implode and destroy America and any friendships that they've had and any stability they've had with any ally, right? But they're seduced, man. They're walking after their own lust. Isaiah 19:14. The Lord hath Yahweh, right? Bashmi Abashai, hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit, right? So I can bear with me. Right? So they're making decisions, and we bring this precept out all the time, right? That America's making decisions that they can't go back on. They make decisions like a drunken man, right? And a drunken man is offensive. Man. He's unpredictable. He's unbalanced. He's incoherent. He can't take correction. He's into fights. He's vomiting up. He's a mess. America's a mess. Man. They're a mess. They're finished. They're done. There's no coming back. There's nothing that they can do. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or a rush may do. Right? So we see what he's doing with NATO. Now let's just break off of NATO. You're finished. Right? Now stocks slump yet again as fears grow about tariffs and a recession. Right? U.S. markets or U.S. stock markets fell again on Monday, marking the worst day of the year. As investors grow increasingly fearful about tariffs and potential recession. Wall Street was already coming off a volatile, negative week, digesting the potential impact of new U.S. tariffs and mounting whiplash from how President Trump has implemented and then delayed some of them. By the end of last week, the major U.S. indices, right, if I'm pronouncing that right, indices, right, has dropped by more than 2% for the week. The S&P fell 3.1%, its largest decline since September. Then, in a weekend interview with Fox News, Trump didn't rule out the possibility of a recession. Things gonna get real bad. You got it, King.
Jumping back to the point that you made about Trump being just not right in his mind, it reads in Isaiah, I believe it was at the first chapter in the 5th verse, that the whole head is sick. Now, I was referring to Israel, if I'm not mistaken, within its proper context. Let's see. Yep, verse 4. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel into anger. They are gone away backward. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. In this exact verse, we can liken it into Esau. The whole head is sick. Trump recently stated, I don't see why we need to get trees from anybody else. You can't get trees in America, right? And I saw an economist break it down. It would be foolish to chop up all of our trees. He wants everything done in America. He's bad with his finances.
Right.
He went into bankruptcy too many times to count. I mean, it's bad. And he said, shut up about the price of eggs. While in the same breath, the Trump supporters stated, yes, he's going to lower the price of eggs. Now he's telling the same people, shut up about it. You don't say shut up kindly. You say, shut up. Tell them to shut up. So, these nations, you liberals, you conservatives, You have no idea what you're in for. And it's going to be hilarious watching this kingdom that you love so much fall upon your head. It's going to get messy, right? And nobody's going to be able to clean it up. He said, shut up about the eggs. Trump suggests people should shut up about egg prices. I thought you said he was going to lower them. Can you type in Trump will lower the egg prices? Let's see how much of a hypocrite this man is along with his followers.
Yeah, he's like Rehoboam.
Trump promises to bring down eggs one day. What's that? Prices on day one. It's about like day month. It's day 50. However long it's been. Now he's telling people to shut up about him.
Hey.
See, even the people who's reporting these articles, everybody's discombobulated because the whole head is sick. Mine's not right. Show this to a Republican at work. Oh, well, no, you don't know why Trump's plan to lower eggs prices probably won't work. So the whole nation is confused. Now, if Artaxerxes said, well, look, we have food, everybody's going to say we have food.
Right.
Pharaoh would say, hey, there's a shortage on food. Everyone will say there's a shortage. But when the head is sick, the rest of the body is going to be sick as well. As is the chief soldiers, paraphrasing. Great. Right. So this is your leader. I hope you Edomites, I hope you're watching this. CIA, you informants, you spies, that's seeking out our liberty. And I hope you're watching this, and I hope you know America's going to fall. Sirach chapter 10, verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And so was it with Biden. When Biden was in office, I mean, you had Transformers,
right.
You had P. Diddy-alites, you had all these men running amok under his wing.
Yeah, yep.
Under his wing, you had all manner of shadowy darkness, perversion going on. People twisted up in the mind. And now here's Trump doing the same thing. And that's why they say, same bird, different feathers. So, this place is cooked.
That's right. And I just want to read this last verse right here. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. And we know this city, this great city, Babylon the Great, is not going to be inhabited, man. Right? Read Isaiah the 13th chapter, the 34th chapter, the 18th chapter. It will not be inhabited due to the unwise king destroying his people, man. I didn't even know about that, man. He says, shut up, right? He's the leader of the free world, right? He said his plan is falling apart. People said, well, what's going on? He said, shut up. Right? You can't have no leader like that, man. Here it is, like you said, he told them the plan falling apart. People pressing you about the plan, you just say, shut up. That's Rehoboam. Hey, remember, they broke off from the house of David, man. They said, what part have we with David, man? Or what inheritance have we with the son of Jesse? To your tents, O David, man, and to your tents, O Israel. And they rebelled against the house of David. And a lot of people are going to rebel against the house of Trump. And the house of Trump is waxing weaker and weaker, and the house of David is waxing stronger and stronger again. Said, shut up. Right? What's these Roosevelt would never, man. These guys on Mount Rushmore, Jefferson, they always had plans. They always had an idea. There was always something to happen. There's no more ideas, man. You ran out. You ran out, Esau. There's nothing that you could do. The Lord said, men of corrupt minds. You know? Hey, let me get one more quick precept in 1 Timothy. I someone said shut up. I done heard it all. Right? 1 Timothy chapter 6 and 5. I'm gonna start at 4. He is proud, this Trump, right? He is proud, knowing nothing, but doting about questions and strifes of words, like telling people to shut up. Whereof cometh envy, strife, railings, evil surmisings. You know what a surmising is? Surmising is like you don't have any
Yeah.
proof. Oh, go ahead, King.
No, it's like you got it.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say a surmise is a guess.
Right.
You know, it's crazy. I Googled that word earlier today. I Googled that and it said guess, to suspect, to deduce.
Right.
Just guessing.
That's wicked, man. I know Yaradan. I know he broke the Shabbat. I can't prove it. I have nothing. He's a damn Sabbath breaker. That's a demon. Right? You just evil surmise. You just got all these false, evil suspicions and thoughts and accusations, and there's no proof. Right? Evil surmisings, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds. And that's what happens in Congress now. That's what's going on in the White House. That's what's going on with these elites. At one time, they didn't have disputes. They all collectively agreed, okay, we're going to do this, and okay, we're going to, they all met on, was that island, Jekyll Island, and he said, we're going to create the Federal Reserve, right? And they all was on one accord. We're going to pass the Federal Reserve Act, and we're going to take over the American government. Now they can't sit in the room without fighting, man. Look at Zelensky and Trump, man. They was beefing. He don't have the cards. Hey, Trump, and this Zelensky came in there in the Oval Office and y'all gonna die. Now he ain't said like that, but he said, y'all gonna feel the pain pretty much. That was a perverse disputing of men of corrupt minds, destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. Yeah, he printed out all those Bibles, supposing that gain is godliness. He handed out the stimmies. Supposing that gain is godliness. He put tariffs on people, man. Supposing that just because you increase in money, the Most High is going to be with you. You can print all the Bibles you want, man. Gain is not godliness. But what did the Most High say? From such, withdraw thyself. So you got to separate from the system, man. You got to separate from the beast. Separate from the society, man. But godliness with contentment is great gain. Right? And we're content being in this knowledge, man. We're content with our daily bread that the Most High has given us, man. Right? Because our expectation is not from men, perverse men, right? Wasn't he, don't he have felons? Ain't he a felon? Right?
Yeah, for sexual assault.
Yeah, didn't he grab a woman by her God knows what, man? Years ago. I'm not going to type it up. You can look it up on your own. He's a pervert, man. The Lord said, withdraw yourself. Stop trusting in this society. Stop waiting on the next big stimmy. Right? Because you got Jake waiting on the stimulus check. Let me pull that up real quick. Stimulus payments. Right? Well, what is Dodge dividend check? Will you qualify for it? Right? Jake waiting on a $5,000. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe Trump. Jake in Michigan, man. They get Big Gretch. They call it Big Gretch. They gave her some buffs.
They gave her buffs and some Tims.
They gave Big Gretch in Michigan. Was she the governor or senator of Michigan? You Negroes in Detroit, man. You gave her a pair of buffs, right? And you said some Tims, man. They called her Big Gretch because she kind of, whatever she did. That's what Jake you're gonna do for Trump, man. You're gonna give him these Negro nicknames. You're gonna turn a blind eye to what he's doing for the $5,000 stimmy. And that stimmy ain't gonna last you Negroes, man, more than 3 days. I guarantee 3 days. If that. Because you're behind in bills, rent. You want them new pair of Jordans. You're on child support. Groceries, eggs. Hey, he said shut up about eggs. You be paying eggs, man. You know, so don't let the Lord said a gift destroy the heart. The Lord said, from such withdraw thyself, right? Withdraw yourself, man. But you got it, King.
No, and I was just gonna say that I think when he first gave the stimulus checks, Jake, their way of showing love is by turning a nation like them.
Right.
And so they do that with,
Cookhouse.
apparel and hair and things like that. And that's what they did to Trump. They gave him waves and a connecting beard and AirPods.
Wait, let me see that. Hold on. Okay, so Jake is sick. Their mind. They have a bad mind. they give him a whole tape out like a temp fade. Right? So Jake is sick, man. You're sick, man. Jake, you are sick in the head, man. You're bugged out. Somebody actually made that. I don't even think that's AI. I think somebody made that. You know? So Jake, you got to get your mind right, man. We have one king. His name's Yahweh. Bashmi Awashad. That's what we're looking to get out of here, man. We didn't go through all these current events and all these prophecies and feast days for us to say at the end of the day, hey, get down with Trump, man. We get down with the Most High, man. Right? We get down with Yahweh Bashmi Awashad. Right? But you got it, King, unless you want to bring out you got something else or closing precepts.
We bring out closing precepts.
Con.
It's, yeah. This is Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. And so in these last days, you can clearly see, not only from the information we brought out, but as you further examine what's going on in this world, you will see that it's coming to an end. And so knowing that it's coming to an end, call upon the name while he is near. Call upon Yahweh Shem Shai. Don't call upon Muhammad. Don't call upon Allah. Don't call upon Buddha. Don't call upon the spaghetti flying monster. Don't call upon any of these false idols or these gods. Don't even call upon money. Money is bound to burn and to rust and to deteriorate upon the earth. But the Most High God, Yahweh Shem Shai, he liveth forever. He is. He's unmovable. Neither does he slumber nor sleep, as the Psalms say. And so we put our trust in him, the same God that brought us into the truth and gave us this wisdom freely. This is the same God that we exalt day in and day out and we pray to day in and day out. The same God we fast for, same one we exalt and glorify his name. So you have to seek him while he is near, because it's coming soon where he won't be found. It's going to be too late when Jacob's trouble happened and you try to look for the prophets, because that's the closest thing to the Most High you can see through the Spirit. If you want to see a man of God, now is the time to go out on the highways and byways across the nation. If you have any inquiries, now is the time. It's going to be too late and too far gone once all hell breaks loose. You're not going to see men posted up with the A-boards and the staffs and the camera breaking down the scriptures in Jacob's trouble. We're going to be as pilgrims upon our earth, and you're going to be wondering where to get all your oil from. Don't be that man. Don't be that foolish virgin.
Right.
And we hope that we're not either, right? We're not exempt. We don't know our lot nor our faith or our fate, Salakia. But we do know that we're going to continue to strive. And that's the exhortation that we have to you, that you continue to strive for the truth, strive for the mastery, and press towards the mark through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. With that, I yield.
That's right. That's right. And I'm against 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and 5, right? 2nd Ezra 9 and 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them from me from the beginning. So the Most High is telling you, man, that the end is manifest. And the Most High had wonders in the beginning. When you look at the creation, if you were to see that, you would see the wonderful works of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, right? The Most High creating the light, the firmament, the earth, and the dry land on day 3, gathered the sun and the moon, right? And put them in their place, man, right? Day 5, the Most High created the birds and the whales and all of the animals out of the sea, and then he created man. And you would see the wonderful works that the Most High had in the beginning. The Most High is also doing that in the end. You see the wonderful works, man. You see the nations going together with war games, right? You see the war drills going on. You see America is at a state of disarray that's unprecedented, man. We've never seen anything like this, man. Even so-called sleepy, creepy, freaky Joe and his infinite madness, he had more reigns on this society than so-called Trump does, man. And they get worse and worse, man. Right? So if the Most High is telling you that the end is manifest, and he said you're going to escape by your faith and by your works, we should be focused on those two things, building up our faith in the Most High through prayer and through fasting. And the Lord said faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High in Romans the 10th chapter. So you build up your faith by reading, watching the videos, going out in the highways and byways, taking notes, studying, meditating. That's how you build up your faith. And then you couple that with your works. And the works are your works that show your obedience to the Most High, keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments, keeping the feast days, man, gathering together, doing the work, your faith and your works. So with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh Shema Mashiach Brother Naquan.
Brother Yardan.
Shalom.